Cheap Not Bro fan, what's happening, good people? Hope you're happy. Hope you're doing well. I am your host, Malcolm Hall. Not really a host, you know what it is. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to drop some dimes on you. But first, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't seen my flyers, I got a comedy show coming up. It's going to be a great time. Hope everybody's doing good. I want to jump right into it. Keep it quick, keep it simple. Hotels, cheap hotels, are they worth it? Are they worth the money? Now, as you see, I had a picture of Motel 6. I don't know. There's now let's first off talk about the difference between motels and hotels. The difference between a motel and a hotel is this. A motel, when you walk outside, all the rooms are immediately outside. There are no inside hallways. Hotels have inside hallways. Motels have outside hallways. So if you're in a motel, as soon as you walk out the door, you're going to be out on the balcony and you can just walk right outside. In a hotel, you walk outside, walk out the door, you're in a hallway, you're still in the building. So motels, everything is technically outside. Hotel, everything's in. That's the big difference. So when you go by, you see a cheap, like think about it. If you want to if you want to get a really nice hotel, you don't want to walk outside, walk out the door and be right outside. You want to still be in the building. Just like Las Vegas, they got a ton of nice properties. Now those are called, they're hotels, but they're called properties. So you got different versions of hotels. But the question is this: is a cheap hotel worth it? Is it worth it to stay in a cheap hotel? And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, hell no, it's not worth it to stay in a cheap hotel. Cheap hotels are dirty and they're nasty. Now, it depends, it varies. Now, let me tell you something like this. I stayed in a Red Roof Inn one time. It was so dirty, I had to go get a sleeping bag to sleep in the bed. That's how bad it was. I should just spend some more money. The money I spent on a sleeping bag, I could have put that towards the room and got a better room. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. There's inexpensive hotels and there's cheap hotels. Motel 6, Red Roof Inn, what's another one? La Quinta Inn. Those are cheap hotels. You can tell, first off, you can tell if there's no lobby. If there's no lobby, that's a cheap hotel. Nice hotels have a nice lobby, everything's nice. When you go to a cheap hotel, you just walk in there and there's the guy. There is no lobby. There's the entrance way. There's no lobby. Now that doesn't mean, like I said, it depends on where your money is. Now, if you got good money, get you a nice hotel. If you don't, you're gonna get a cheap hotel. You gotta scrutinize and be smart about what cheap hotel you're gonna get. Now, I will tell you this: cheaper than a cheap hotel, you got those damn hostels. And I'm sorry, not doing a hostel. If you haven't stayed in a hostel, let me tell you how this works. So a hostel works like this: you pay for a bed. You're in a room with a bunch of strangers, and everybody gets a bed. So technically, you don't get a room. You get a cot. So you might be in a room, and it might be 6 beds, and I might get there in the morning. I'm by myself. By the end of the day, I'm in here with 5 strangers because they're gonna all occupy the beds. And people come and go at different times. People are traveling, coming in, coming out. So it's hard to get any sleep. And you're in there with some strangers. So I don't know about everybody else. I don't like sleeping with strangers. Uber's cool. I'm okay with Uber, but no, the hostel thing didn't sit well with me. Now it was cheap. I did this in San Francisco for a comedy show. I said, let me stay in a hostel to save some money. I had more money to get another hotel, but I just wanted to see what the experience was like. No, there was roaches in there. I didn't see the roach until the way out on my way out. But when I came in, it was a couple on the bed and they were laying together and they were just having a good time kissing. I thought they were about to have sex or something. I thought, oh no, I don't want no parts of this. Let me go ahead and get out of here. So I stayed out all day. I didn't come home. I had a comedy show. I didn't come home from my show till like 10 o'clock. Oh, I got done with my show like 10 o'clock. I stayed out till like 1 in the morning. As soon as I came in, I took a bath, got dressed again for the next day, and kept up and had all my clothes on, put my stuff back in my rental car, and I left. I stayed out again all day. So my plan was this: all I need to do is shower here. If I need to sleep, well, I'll come in and take a nap. I'm only here 2 nights, so it wasn't a big deal. But I'll never do it again. Did I save a lot of money? Not really, because you lost peace of mind. What I saved in money, I lost in peace of mind. So that kind of sucked. So I'm gonna tell you right now, cheap hotels, they're not the way to go. There are some inexpensive hotels. You can get a hotel for cheap, but some hotels just bottom of the line. And you if you watch crime TV, you see a lot of stuff happens in those cheap hotels. So, I wouldn't advise stay. There's those truck top hotels. There's hotels where people go to pay for like men and women services. We don't talk about it on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. So, you got to scrutinize where you want to stay. Now, some hotels, I'll tell you this about hotels, they are always going to charge you the most money on Friday and Saturday night. So what I do is I try to stay somewhere. If I'm there for like a week or something, I'll stay in one hotel for the week, and then I'll go stay somewhere else on the weekend and get a better rate. However, I think the minimum you can get a hotel for decent is about $100 a night. Anything under $100, I don't know. You may not know what you're getting. You may not know what you're getting. So, with that being said, probably keep it at 120, 150 a night. What does that mean? It's like $300. Well, then you got Airbnb. That's a whole nother situation. We're not gonna talk about Airbnb on this video. This is just about cheap hotels. Cheap hotels. Hotels can be inexpensive, but you just got flat out cheap ones, and those are the ones you want to stay away from. You don't know what's gonna happen. Those are the kind of hotels when you go out to the car, you see people outside talking, shooting dice. You be like, oh my god, damn, I wish they get off my. Excuse me, can you get off my car? That's what you need. You don't want that at the cheap hotel. Cheap hotels are dangerous. Cheap hotels. That's when you hear people out there, doing donuts 2 o'clock. And what the hell are they doing donuts for? And let me tell you something else. Cheap hotels, they don't have anybody there overnight. Cheap motels. A cheap motel. I've been saying hotels the whole time. Motel. A motel, they don't usually have somebody there from probably like midnight to 6 in the morning. So you're on your own. A hotel, they always got staff all night, all day. Motels, they're cheap. So they're going to send staff home to save money. So when you get there at midnight, you're on your own. You probably got to check in at a certain time or you're not going to have anybody to help you. So, and this is the place where you go to this motel, they got the guy behind the plexiglass. So it's dangerous if somebody's behind the damn plexiglass. I don't want no parts of that. But like I said, you got to do what you got to do with your money. But I will tell you this, if you can avoid a cheap hotel, cheap flights are different. There's a standard for flights. The FAA regulates all flights. You're not going to get on a flight with, not clean, the engine's not running well, it's not taken care of, or the staff is not dressed. You're not going to get on a flight like that because there's a standard and a very strict regulations when it comes to flights. However, when it comes to hotels, there is no regulations. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. But you do know what you're going to get when you know how much you pay for it. That's what I'm saying. Motel 6, what was it? Red Roof Inn? Nope. What's the other one? La Quinta Inn? No. These are not places you want to stay. You want to keep it at least over $100 a night, unless you can just find an amazing deal. And first and foremost, I should have talked about this a long time ago. You got to read the reviews. Please read the reviews of a hotel. You got to read. That's the one thing. If you don't read reviews at all, you got to read the reviews about a hotel. You're sleeping there. Hotels, Airbnbs, whatever the case, wherever you're going to sleep, you got to read the reviews because that's different. That's your safety. You got to be safe. You don't want to be somewhere that's not clean or whatever the case, or something happened there in the past. You don't know that. So you want to make sure you're in a decent, nice, well-lit hotel because so many places are way out there. And if you're driving, you're doing a cross-country trip or something like that, you just want to pull over when you get tired. That's cool, but you may not. You're going to probably, right off the highway, you're not going to find a Marriott. And Marriotts are in the city. You're going to find a cheap truck stop hotel when you go right outside the rest stop. So cheap, not broke. Hey, I'm all about being cheap, but not cheap hotels. We don't do that. $100 and up. It's not about it being cheap. It's about your safety. It's about being clean. You got to have somewhere that's clean and safe. You can't go cheap when it comes to your safety out here. You don't want to be in some state, some city that you're not familiar with, staying at some hotel and you don't feel safe and it damn sure is not clean. You can't have that. You can't stay somewhere where it's not clean. That's just not going to work. Like I said, it's all about saving money. But you can't put money over your safety. You can't put money over your health. Shout out to my viewer, whoever's watching. I appreciate you. Drop a like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or drop a comment. Whoever's in there watching right now, drop a comment. Let me know what's going on. I want to say what's up and shout you out. But hotels is coming up. It's travel season coming up. We're going to be, people out here traveling, doing a lot of good stuff, which is great. Get you a nice hotel. Book it early. April. It's March. Today's the first day of March officially. Travel season starts next month. Prices are going doop. They're going to go up. If you're going First holiday, the first official holiday is Memorial Day. That's the first official holiday that we have coming up where like people take off. And then you have spring break where you have a lot of college kids, high school students. They do a lot of traveling. So prices are going to start going up. So get your booking done now. And if you're going on vacation, you can't stay in a hotel, a cheap hotel. That's know that. Don't stay in a motel if you're on vacation. Motels, if you're like, you're traveling traveling somewhere, or your flight's stuck, or you just need an emergency place to sleep. That's what motels are for when your money's low. You do what you got to do, but if you don't have to, don't do it. Hey, as I always say, I appreciate everybody tuning in to Cheap Not Broke. I got a comedy show. March 18th. If you tune in on my YouTube and you like my videos, come out to the comedy show. And also, I got my t-shirts. Go to cheapnotbroke.com. Grab a shirt. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you got some stuff you want me to talk about, drop a comment. Let me know. Malcolm, I want to hear about this. I want to talk about that. Let's do it. I'll do the research and I'll get you that information. I like going to find out all these crazy things. Cheap Not Broke is not about just saving money. It's about value. And you don't get any value from a cheap hotel. So until next time, I appreciate everybody. And if you don't know, damn it, follow me at Instagram, Cheap Not Broke, at Cheap Not Broke. And then I have my personal page. But if you go to this page, you'll find a personal page. And yep, we're going to keep chugging along. March 18th. Show up to that show. I would appreciate you coming out. I appreciate your support. And until next time.